Hey, Bam Davis with West Jordan Fire Department, Heavy Rescue 5-4. Today we're going to be doing pickoffs, rescuer-based pickoffs with the Aztec. Paul Roberts will be our rescuer, and Dan Nielsen will be our victim. So, with that being said, we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about the rigging for the rescuer prior to him going over the edge. And how we want to be rigged if we're going to be doing a pickoff, rescuer-based pickoff with the Aztec. First, let's talk about the main line. Paul's descent device he's using is a general use ID. You can see he's got it connected to his D-ring, his waist D-ring, using a tri-link. And we'll talk about that in a minute when we get to the Aztec. There's a particular purpose for that. So he's controlling his own descent. That's what depicts a rescuer-based pickoff. He's controlling the descent, and basically the only thing happening above him will be somebody attending his belay line. So that's his main line. His belay line is this red line here. You can see he's attached using a prusik, so he can adjust this. The terminal end of the prusik will go to the victim. So before he goes over to the edge, he can just connect this to his belt or wherever he prefers. Where do you prefer to connect it?
I like it on my chest.
So he likes it to his chest connection. It's easy to get to. That'll be his first connection point when he gets to his victim. The Aztec, which he's using for the pickoff, just remember blue, the blue block goes to you, blue to you. And we want to make sure that the pin is pinned at the blue side as well, because that's where we can control it closest to us. Now, instead of hooking to his D-ring on his harness, he's going to connect into the tri-link. The reason for this is that this D-ring is only rated for one direction of pull, which right now all his weight's on this ID and it's just pulling in one direction. So we don't want to connect our Aztec or any pickoff device, whether it be a pickoff strap or a pre-rigged 4-to-1. We want to make sure that we're connected to the tri-link. So this way we have three directions of pull. So that's very important. As always, we want to have a safety check done prior to the rescuer going over the edge. 2 sets of eyes and hands on every piece of equipment to make sure it's locked, it's all operational. He's going to show the safety guy that his ID is operational prior to going over the edge. And then we're going to make sure his prusik is locked. He wants to make sure that this is over his shoulder, so that if he does suffer a fall, it doesn't come up under the arm. Other than that, that's the rigging for a rescuer-based pickoff with the Aztec. Okay, now Paul's all rigged up. He's ready to go over the edge. In this case, we're going to have someone minding belay, so he's got to make sure of his communications. Communications is after safety's done. He's just going to communicate ready to rappel. He's going to ask on belay. Belay is going to answer and belay is on. And he's just going to say rappelling. Now, one other thing you want to make sure of, Paul's done a good job because he has an atria, extra carabiners, a handleless sender. He's got some prusiks on that side. He has everything he possibly could need. And I suggest that whenever you get on a rope or a line, always have every tool that you could possibly need ready to go. So he's ready to go. We'll go ahead and let him go over the edge and begin his rescue. Now that Paul's come down in a position where he can invert and reach the victim to connect him, the first step is to connect the rescuer's belay to the victim. Shout out your command.
Victim on rescuer's belay.
Okay, so now he's going to disconnect the victim from the victim belay, if indeed the victim has a belay. Very well could be that the victim isn't using a belay line, so that's going to be situational. You can't say that. Oh, sorry, edit that out.
Victim off. Victim's belay.
Okay, so now the rescuer has the victim attached to the rescuer's belay line, and the victim disconnected from his original belay line. Next, Paul's going to take his Aztec. As we explained before, blue to you, you either have to use the tri-link or we go carabiner to carabiner. So now he's going to reach down, invert, attach the victim to his Aztec. Always locking all carabiners that he connects to the victim. And now he's going to exercise the Aztec, basically pull the victim up to where he takes the weight off of the victim's line. Now the rescuer wants the victim pretty close to him, so you want to take most of the slack out of the Aztec. The closer they are to you, the better control you have of the victim.
I'm going to spin you around, Dan, so your back's against the wall.
You're going to want your leg on the other side of that belay line, though. So this is the position that the rescuer wants his victim in this particular scenario. He has good control of him. The victim can't impede his ability to go up or down the line. And now that he's got him in this position, he's going to disconnect the victim from the victim's main line.
Victim off. Main line. Victim's main line.
Okay. So now that he's basically made all of his attachments, now he's ready to make his descent to the ground, and he's just going to communicate with his edge person that he's ready to rappel away on belay, so forth and such, and that's it.